All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 9:45 this evening and a very hot day across the area once again, depending on where you are. Very hot. Right now, we have temperatures generally in the 82-degree range. You notice it's very humid there. Farmingdale reporting a dew point of 73. The humidity was a lot higher today. There is a southwest wind, but I'll tell you, it's not getting in there to cool off the alley at all. Alley is almost 85 degrees. Yeah, 85 degrees in the alley. I know.
Oh, I hate this place!
You get into Mineola and you realize just how much hotter it is here, and you feel like you're gonna drop. This is by far the hottest summer I've had since I lived here, and it's too hot here. I can't be here another summer. It's just way too hot. It's really just making me sick. On the South Shore it wasn't too bad. Even other areas, even like Farmingdale, are cooler. It's just Mineola is just brutal. Very hot here. Particularly my area, and especially because I have the alley, so I don't have any fresh air and the AC. I mean, it's 75 degrees in here with the air conditioner blowing full blast. 75. If you really want to feel cool, you got to sit right in front of it. But anyway, yeah, hot, humid day today across the area. So let's get to before we even look at the highs on this map. Let's talk about Newark, because Newark set a new record today. 100 degrees, a new daily record high. Actually, I think they hit 102. 100 degrees for 5 consecutive days at Newark and much of New Jersey. This is the longest streak since records began back in 1931. That's right. So just another example of how record-breaking this heat is unbelievable. This is unbelievably record-breaking heat, and we're going to have to look forward to more of this as we deal with the consequences of the climate crisis going on. I mean, the whole country is hot. I mean, literally, that's what CBS News led with today, was all the heat. If you go to CBS News here, CBS News, and look at CBS News here, not just the regular CBS News, you'll see here, well, actually, they don't have it on the website, but it was their lead story, the heat. For whatever reason, it's not on the website, but it was their lead story. Because it's coast to coast. The whole country is suffering. All right? Let's take a look at what your day was like at Islip today. So Islip is reporting 81 with a dew point of 75 degrees. Yeah, there's a strong south-southwest wind at 13, gusting to 20. And if you're on the South Shore, it takes the edge off. You can see they got up to 92 today there. So if we look at what the day was like at Islip, you will see that, generally speaking, it was in the 90s for much of the day, again, from like 10 a.m. Right through the early part of the afternoon, dealing with 90s again. The dew points were a little lower, but then they came back up in the evening. Still 90 degrees, the dew point is 73. It's unbelievably uncomfortable. And then look, the dew points got up to the mid-70s when temperatures. So the sea breeze is not providing much relief, and we're going to talk about that because the water temperatures are extremely warm. If we look at some of these water temperatures, let's see if we can get a water temperature from here. No water temperature reported at this buoy. What about this one here? 78 degrees. Yep. So we're getting close to 80 degrees now with the water temperatures on the ocean. This is the ocean. All right. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Let's see if I can get another one in here. This buoy here not reporting a water temperature. I don't know why that these buoys aren't reporting water temperatures. I don't know why that is. But anyway, but if you think it was bad here on Long Island where we were dealing with, it was even worse if you were in New Jersey. Let's take a look and see what it was like in Berkeley Township. Was right by Tom's River. All right, so it's 81 with the dew point of 75, but we're going to take a look and show you what the day was like because I think it hit 100 there. Yep. 100, temperatures were around 100 degrees from 2 o'clock right through till 4 o'clock. So, yeah, absolutely brutal there in Jersey. Extremely hot. Very hot there. Extremely hot. Just unbelievable heat going on in New Jersey today. And, this is a death sentence here. I mean, I could not survive this. This is really horrible. So, the dew points were lower. I noticed that the dew points were lower there because they had a west wind. But then when the wind swung around, so here's very interesting. It looked like there was a west wind, and then a very weak sea breeze came in, knocked the temperatures down to the upper 90s. But the sea breeze actually made it worse because the humidity got a lot higher. So, yeah, really just a brutal day in Jersey. They really are, like I said, they are the fastest warming state of all the states in this country. So let's go and take a look at another observation here. We'll go ahead and look at Muttontown here, which is, I guess, was representative of northern Nassau. We'll use this one here and show you that we were in the mid-90s again today here in Mineola. So probably, this is Muttontown, probably 94, 95 degrees. Notice the dew points were a little lower earlier on. I do notice some lower dew points there. And then the dew points came up later on in the day. But very hot day today. And you notice the air quality alert's in effect. And it looks like we've been dropped from the heat advisory for tomorrow, but not for New Jersey, and probably not for New York City. And you notice the air quality alerts as well. And look at what it's like here in some of the other areas here. If we go and look at this, I guess it's around Trenton, 90 degrees still at this hour. Well, I guess it could be worse. LaGuardia's reporting 91, so I guess the alley's not quite as bad as LaGuardia, but it's still pretty hot. And then we notice on the South Shore, though, 79 on the South Shore, 77. So if you're on the South Shore, you're getting some relief, some relief. So let me put the highs on the map here for you. And we'll show you what the highs were today, because look at this. So this kind of tells the story here. Right here, I think that might even be my thumbnail. Might as well have it become the thumbnail already. This tells the story here that it is really over Jersey. I mean, around 100 degrees for much of New Jersey. But you could see Long Island escaped the worst of it. If you're out east, then West Hampton was only 88, 85 at Montauk. So there's some relief out there. Connecticut was in the mid-90s, but Jersey, I mean, by far and above, the hottest of all the entire area of the Jersey just baked today. And the conditions were ideal for this. And there is a reason why New Jersey gets so hot and why. And you know, I've explained it to you before, but we can explain it to you again. And we can just draw here, and I'll just draw the arrow. So it's basically a southwest to south-southwest wind flow. It's basically overland for the entire east coast for New Jersey. So all the heat just builds in here. Plus, you have the downsloping action of the mountains around it. All right. Whereas that same wind direction for Long Island cools off a little bit when it goes over the water. The same thing for Connecticut. All right. But if we had a killer west wind, if we had a real killer west wind all day today, we probably would be almost just as hot. But because we had a little bit of a sea breeze, it helped. But there's just something about Jersey that just is unbelievably hot. It's just an unbelievable hot place. It's just tucked in like an armpit. Offense, but you know, that's why it gets so hot there. Let's take a look and see what Central Park got up to today. So 94 was the high at Central Park. 99 at LaGuardia was the high. 97 at JFK. So JFK usually cooler. Not really. 98 were reported for a high in Carl Place. Might be a little suspect. I'm thinking it was more like 95 here. But still, ridiculously hot day today. And you throw in the increased humidity and poorer air quality, which you noticed. And, you know, it's just brutal. It's just brutal. So let's go and look at our record. I believe there was a record high set at Newark today. Let's see. Well, I see the governor finally did say something about the heat. She should say something about the heat. But let's take a look and see what we have here. Local past weather. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at this, and you'll see. I'm pretty sure Newark set a record today. So, yeah. 102 is the record. So 102 degree high at Newark. That is insane. Beat the record of 99 back in. So we set two new records at Newark today. First 5-day stretch, longest 5-day stretch in a row. And Central Park, I believe, tied a record, too, for the longest stretch in the 90s. This is the longest heat wave we've had. One of the longest heat waves we've had on record. All right. And so let's go and look at... I don't want to finish up yet. Let me go and look at... actually, we do have record event reports. So let's see if we have any record event reports. Let's see. Central Park. No. Don't see anything here. All right, but let's see. LaGuardia. All right, so LaGuardia tied the record of 98 degrees. All right. They tied their record. JFK. Oh, nothing for JFK. All right, you just go to the Daily Climate Report if you want. So JFK, I don't think that's a record. Islip, not a record. I think Bridgeport tied their record. No, they came within 1 degree of breaking at 95. But it was Newark and LaGuardia did not break their record. Yes, no, LaGuardia had a record. They tied it, 98. So they did tie their record at 98. So, yeah, just record heat across the area. It's incredible. And, again, this stretch that we've been seeing across the area is just incredible. It is an incredible stretch of heat that will come to an end, and perhaps a violent end tomorrow. They will still be dealing with the heat, but not like this. So quite a long heat wave here, and I think that I don't know what the longest heat wave was for Central Park, but I think I noticed it on WCBS's website. They don't have it here, but I did notice it on WCBS's website. Let's see if we can. They actually did mention it. I don't see it here, but they did mention it. You'll have to trust me. It's one of the longest stretches. So let's look at the satellite here, and you'll see, yes, there's been some storms blowing up upstate New York, as well as a few not that far away. If you look at the radar here, you'll see some storms that kind of blew up further up in upstate New York. And it looks like Toronto, Canada, is about to get nailed pretty hard. And this is the cold front that we're going to have to deal with tomorrow. It's a slow-moving cold front. And again, if you go to the National Weather Services page, you see we have, if they go to their briefing, which we can, let's see, they have a briefing up here. Thunderstorms are, so here's their briefing. And tomorrow is still going to be hot in the city, too, I think. Long Island may get a break here. So this is the heat index forecast for that Sunday. This is Monday's heat. So you can still see, this is the heat index, all right? You can still see it's going to be pretty hot. Probably Mineolas will get above 90 again. But then we have this severe threat for Monday, and that is we are in a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow. That's number 2 is a pretty decent number for our area. All right, it's a pretty decent number for our area. So let's go and look at getting to the severe weather. Let's go to the Storm Prediction Center, and if we go again to the Day 2 convective outlook, you will see that slight risk area here, pretty much for the whole coastal Northeast, the big cities, all the way up the I-95 corridor with this front that we have approaching. And again, it's a slow-moving front, but still, it can still trigger severe weather. The kind of air mass we're in is just, incredibly unstable, So you can see this is a satellite, and you can see the hazy, hot, and humid. This is the high-resolution satellite for the country. And you can see that hazy, hot, and humid air that we were in today. And this is the front here. And you notice some cleaner air here, back here. But you also notice plenty of haze, and there's actually some smoke from wild. We have a huge wildfire going on in California right now by Yosemite, and this is a huge wildfire. It just blew up. Again, another just record fire season. And if we look at Canada, you still see there's a wildfire burning there as well. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what's going on across the globe. Let's not forget the heat in Europe as well. If we look at Ventusky, and show the whole country and just show you the heat that the whole country is dealing with right now. I mean, incredible heat. If we go back to 2 o'clock today, you can see the heat just going all the way up into the Midwest here, and you can see the heat in the whole country's hot, except for these states right up here: North Dakota, Wisconsin, Illinois. Those area, and Minnesota. Those are the only states that are really getting some relief from the heat. The rest of the country is just pretty hot. Maybe the Pacific Northwest, the coastal Pacific Northwest, but everybody else, I mean, the whole country is just dealing with the heat. It's incredible. It really is incredible. So let's go to the, we're going to actually go to this first and look at the Cape levels for tomorrow. So we go to the thunderstorm threat, move this ahead to 7:25 tomorrow, and this is 11 o'clock. You can see the atmosphere is going to be pretty unstable. Here we are at 2 o'clock, and then you can see it looks like this front may wind up hitting us a little earlier on, but it's really hard to say exactly. We're going to look at the models and see. We can see that those are very high Cape numbers, particularly over Long Island. Long Island actually getting it worse than even New Jersey, which I quite don't understand, considering it will be hotter there. And if you go to the lifted index, that's going to be through the roof, obviously. So conditions are pretty favorable for some severe weather tomorrow. All right. Let me go to the earthnullschool.net site, and we'll show you that the ocean is ridiculously warm south of Long Island. So let's look at the ocean, sea surface temperature anomalies, and you can see, look at this. So this is all bright orange and yellow. This is a big anomaly here with sea surface temperatures. That's why we're seeing the. Of course, they won't tell you that on Channel 12 because they don't want you to know that we are in a climate crisis. But look at that. Let's see how that's a 5-degree anomaly right there. If I pull this out here, you can see 5-degree anomaly right there. And here's a 6-degree anomaly. So these are 5 to 6 degrees warmer than normal on the ocean water temperatures. So what that translates to an actual sea surface temperature is 77.9, 77.5. So very warm waters out there. And then somebody said that the Great South Bay was over 80. I don't know where I could get a reading for that, but I would believe that it would probably be over 80. Just ridiculous warmth in the season. This is not a good thing as we head toward hurricane season. I can go and look at the marine observations here, and we can look at, we can do latest summary here, and then we can probably give us a summary of the sea surface temperatures. Harbor entrance 78, 20 miles south of Fire Island 77. Very warm. All right, we're not supposed to peak. This is supposed to be our peak, and it's not supposed to happen until late in August. So I think we're it could head close to 80 degrees. Block Island even 76 degrees sea surface temperature. Margate, New Jersey 74. Texas Tower, which is pretty decent south, but almost an 80-degree water temperature. And remember, once sea surface temperatures go above 80 degrees, you can support tropical storm development as well. So this is something we really need to be concerned about. Now, here are some of these sea surface temperatures. All right, Kings Point reporting 71. Bridgeport reporting 78. New Haven reporting an 81 in the Long Island Sound there. So, yeah, it's getting up there. It's getting up there. And I'm going to keep watching this because it's very disturbing to see such warm waters in our area. It's like the tropics, all right? It's become like the tropics. It's very, very disturbing. So let's go to the models here, and we will first start with the short range and what's going to happen tomorrow with this cold front moving in. So let me go to the HRRR model here. So here are the HRRR model, and you will see here tonight most of the activity stays to the south of us, but here comes the activity tomorrow. So it looks like it's developing something light around noon tomorrow, and then a more significant line with some heavier stuff later on in the day. All right, it doesn't seem to have a solid line here, but again, the models underestimate this constantly. I think it's going to be a lot worse than this, because notice, if you look at the isobars, what do you see here when you look at the isobars? You see that V. Let me clear that out of here. You see that V shape, all right? When you see that, that is a sign of a sharp front and a lot of instant lift in the atmosphere. So when you see that, that is why we see these, and I think these storms could be severe. I think maybe even if there's a day that a tornado is possible, it could definitely be tomorrow. This is looking like, the HRRR says mostly in the evening. Unfortunately, these storms probably, it depends on how fast they're moving. Maybe they'll get some rain because we could use some more rain again. I've never seen things so dry, especially this heat, because it dries things out very quickly. So if we look at the total amount of rain, it probably, this isn't very much. This is not very much at all. Some areas might see close to an inch, but it's, again, the models could be underestimating it. It's entirely possible here. The models could be underestimating it. So, and then after that's done, Tuesday should be dry, but you'll see, noticing that stall front to the south, it probably is going to keep some clouds around and a chance of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm for parts of New Jersey. Now let's go and look at the NAM model. I'll go to the NAM 3. All right, we don't have the 0Z in yet, but we can look at the 18Z NAM 3. All right, so this is the NAM model. Again, it seems like later on in the day. This is 8 o'clock. Look at that. That is a solid line there hitting us. So it seems like it's right around that 7, 8 o'clock hour that we are going to get possibly nailed again. This is the NAM. All right. So some models suggest earlier, but this is the NAM model. It says 8 o'clock. Let's go now to the HRRR. I'm not the HRRR, but the HDRPS. The one we don't. So the HDRPS does not really show a defined line, and it seems like it has a lot of activity to our south in the evening. But it certainly seems like the time that this is going to occur is more toward the evening. So probably later, like 3, 4 through. The main threat is going to be from 3, 4 o'clock till probably like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I would totally expect that our area is going to see a severe thunderstorm watch listed for tomorrow. So let me go back to the HRRR now, And we will go to the 0Z run, and I will look at the dew points. So here is that humidity that we're talking about. Southwest winds, strong southwest winds. Here we are tomorrow. Notice the drier air, which is the front. All right. Here's the 8th, and this is again as we head toward the afternoon. You'll notice that strong southwest wind. So it's going to keep a strong sea breeze on the South Shore, I think, tomorrow, and keep Long Island a little better. The dry air, this is the front. You can see, yeah, struggling to get in. The dry air isn't even getting in here until after midnight. It doesn't start coming in. And you can see what happens. It kind of just gets stuck to the south. The front just stalls right to the south, which is why we're not going to have a nice, clear, sunny day on Tuesday, even though it would be nice. But again, when you don't have much of a jet stream, this is what happens. All right. But it will certainly be more comfortable for us. Now, if you're in New Jersey, probably not as much. All right. Let's now go to the temperatures. Temperatures for tomorrow. I think we'll see 90 again in Nassau County. Islip, maybe not. I still think it could get up there. And then there'll be more of a sea breeze. But you'll see Jersey is going to bake once again. Probably almost just as hot as today. Maybe a couple degrees cooler. But I think 90s, mid to upper 90s are a good bet. Jersey and perhaps part of New York City as well. Though I think Queens might be a little cooler. All right. And then you'll see that cooling come in. Temperatures drop by Tuesday morning. We might actually make it below 70. Probably not in the alley. We probably have lows in the 70s. But, hey, we haven't even made it below 80 all week in the alley. And then for your Tuesday, much cooler conditions. Highs in the low 80s. Looks like much, much cooler behind this front. But there could be a lot of cloud cover with that front close by. So now let me go and look at the GFS model. And we will go and look at the GFS as far as our temperatures and dew points go. So let me go back to the dew points. And again, seeing that tropical air there. So here we go. Here is that front coming through. See, it gets stuck to the south. GFS brings it a little further to the south. And then we'll be in the dry air for Tuesday and Wednesday. But then the humidity starts returning on Thursday. You can see more of a westerly wind. That could be a hot day. And then Friday, you'll see another front pass. And this front looks a little stronger. And I think by the weekend, I think we have a good push of some dry air. Of course, a weekend where we don't have train service for some nice weather finally for Saturday and Sunday. All right. Dry air and hopefully clearer skies. So let's go to the temperatures now. Your air temperatures. And again, here's Tuesday. Temperatures generally in the low 80s. Here Wednesday, temperatures start to warm up a little bit. We see low to mid 80s on Long Island, perhaps getting close to 90 in New Jersey. Then Thursday, we are back dealing with the heat again. Temperatures probably, I would think, around 90 on Long Island, mid 90s in Jersey, depending on how much of a sea breeze we get. Friday, just a tad cooler, but then as we get to the weekend, look at that. We're dealing with low to mid 80s. It's just near normal for this time of the year. So it won't be cool, but it will be better than what we've been dealing with. Trust me, mid 80s and dew points in the 50s. They're going to feel pretty good after what we've been dealing with. So let's go now to the skies, and then we'll look at the longer range, obviously. But let me go to the sky forecast just to show you that this front is going to kind of get stuck here. You can kind of see it already. So here's tomorrow. Increasing clouds. We'll definitely have a good deal of clouds. More clouds than today. But there'll still be enough sunshine out there shining through the cloud. So here comes the front. Tries to push offshore, but gets hung up. So we're going to be dealing with passing cirrus, mid-level clouds, and high and mid-level clouds. Maybe Wednesday we can clear it out a little more, but then those clouds kind of roll more back in by afternoon. All right, so yeah, I don't expect to see any nice clear skies the next 2 days, even though we do have this front passing. Here is the NAM. Similar deal with the NAM. You can see it kind of gets hung up right there. We don't really clear it out very much. And this is as far as it goes into Wednesday. GFS, again, Wednesday might have more sunshine than Tuesday. But you'll notice plenty of clouds. We have to wait for that other front to come through, and then we maybe can get this junk out of here. Though, according to this, look at that. It still has some high clouds over it. This is a week away, so we'll have to see if we can. I swear, front better pay. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this, man. What a nice day. This is ridiculous. So now that we've done all that, let's go and look at the upper air flows to show you how messed up things are here. So here we are, and we're heading into tomorrow. You can see a very, very weak trough there. Enough to bring, but you can see very shallow jet stream. Not enough of a push to get that front through. Here's the weekend, and you can see it's a little bit of a stronger, but it's still, you got to this jet stream is a freaking mess. I mean, this is all part of climate change. The jet stream is disappearing. All right? So imagine having no jet stream. Well, that's what it is. You can see the jet stream is just split. It's wavy. It's a mess. And then it looks like some more heat tries to build in as we head toward August again. So we may be dealing with yet more heat. That looks like a pretty substantial ridge right there. All right? Let's go to the 500 height, the upper air height anomaly. All right? So you see there's that little trough coming through. Then another more substantial one for the weekend. But then once we get to look at this big ridge again in the east, more heat is going to be on the way. And if we have another heat wave like this or worse, I don't know, I may have to get a second air conditioner because it's just it's impossible to survive in here. 2 air conditioners for a tiny small 1-bedroom apartment, only in this place. But anyway, let's get a little close to this, and we'll show you how this all pans out with the temperature anomaly chart. All right, so here we go for your Tuesday, near normal to slightly below normal. Start to go above normal on Wednesday a little bit. Thursday, definitely above normal. Friday, still above normal for the East Coast. Then we cool down a little bit for the weekend. But then after we get past that, look at that. Here comes the heat again. We're going to have to deal with more heat once again as we head into August. And if you just want to know how hot that is, well, we'll look at the temperatures here and you'll see. Yeah, it's going to be, I'll just rewind this, see all that heat again in the east. Look at how far the heat goes to. There's a whole, look at this, 107 in North Dakota next Saturday. Really? Actually, no, it's not next Saturday. It's 2 weeks from now. I mean, these are long-range models, but it doesn't look good. That's all I'm going to say right now. It does not look good. And if we go again to the long range, you'll see that we're going to be dealing with more crazy heat again. Here we are in August, just showing you again. Look at that. And I honestly think Long Island will, one of these days, we'll get an 100-degree reading here as well. Look at that. That's Saturday, August 6th. And I think we're going to have no train service that weekend, too. So, yeah, this is going to be a horrible, horrible summer, guys. This is going to be the hottest summer on record. And next year will be even hotter and hotter and hotter. We keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter as this climate emergency ramps up. But don't tell that to Channel 12. That's all I can say. But it sucks for those of us who like being outside, that the weather just sucks. And I guess if you want to go outside, well, maybe Labrador. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Again, watching severe weather tomorrow. Very active, again, pattern that we are in here with severe weather and heat, and the jet stream, of course, being a mess that it is. We are seriously seeing just crippling heat across the globe. And it's going to bring humanity to its knees, yet humanity seems to be completely distracted by everything else going on. It's unbelievable how dumb a lot of people are on this planet. They don't realize just how bad the situation is. You know, I mean, you know, we need to, it's really, really bad, all right? We need massive, very radical things to, you know, to change to stop this, you know. Number one, I think that all large vehicles require commercial driver's license. All right, that's number one. Number two, we need to start putting solar panels and on top of a lot of buildings, and painting things white. Yeah, I know it sounds stupid, but maybe we need to paint the roads white. Paint as much as you can white, because white will reflect the sun's heat back and cool the planet down. We have to take active measures. Cutting carbon's emissions is not enough now. All right. But, of course, I don't think humanity's going to do it. I think we're going to see, I hate to say it, I hate to be a doomer, but it's hard to have much faith in humanity when you see how slow things are moving along. When nobody's really taking this as the most important issue facing this planet right now is the climate emergency. That is the most important. It's not even the war in Ukraine. It's not Russia. It is the climate crisis. That is number one, by far, most pressing issue in this world right now. But we're not doing anything about it. It's unbelievable, especially in the United States. Well, I think I've said enough. This turns out to a weather update and ends as a commentary. But we are in some deep crap. That's all I can say. And I just hope that the power stays on. Because if I don't have air conditioning, I'm dead. That's it. Thank you for watching.